The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m. Wednesday morning, 60 minutes to go until that opening bell, and we got markets in positive territory to kick things off. Dow futures up 158 points, trading at 28,780. Got the S&Ps up 21 points, trading at 3548. NASDAQ futures leading the way yet again. NASDAQ up 134 points. That's NASDAQ 100 up 1.1%, trading at 12,447. You have oil up this morning. We have gold backing off a bit. Gold down $7 at $19.71. The bonds pretty much flat right now. The 10-year yield sitting at 0.68%. And we'll start things off with a chart of the VIX. Volatility index just hanging around 26. Pretty remarkable when you consider that the market is making new all-time highs almost on a daily basis. For some context here, we're going to put the S&P on a daily chart. There's basically no pullback, folks. Zero pullbacks, I kid, but you got to go all the way back. We're talking about almost 3 months ago. That is the early June high. It's remarkable that we're going to be in September almost 3 months ago for any type of a real pullback. When you go back to as recently as July 29th, we are talking about only 4 red days in the S&P out of 26. That's 22 positive days for a green bar. That's 4 negative days. And with that, I mean, look at this acceleration. Just since August 20th, we're up almost 200 points in the S&Ps. Now, I bring it up. I've talked about it before. Something going on with this VIX, folks, because it is not the same. Look at this elevated levels in the VIX. Really, I mean, there's August 20th. Okay, we just saw that since August 20th, the market has gone up gangbusters. We've been up 200 points in the S&Ps since August 20th. Meanwhile, you have a VIX that did make it all the way down to a low of 2092 on the 26th. But talk about some volatility spikes. I mean, look at on the 27th. You had a low of 2144. You had a high of 27. On the 28th, you had a low of 2264. You almost had a $4 range on the 28th. On the 31st, you had a low of 2177, a high of 2650. Again, almost a $4 range. And now we're sitting right at about 26 on that on that VIX. What else we have going on? Private payrolls out this morning at about 8:15 within the last half hour, growing by 428,000 from ADP. But man, what a miss. 1.17 million was the expectation. We only come in at 428,000 for August. Big business led the way with 298,000 workers. Leisure and hospitality, the top sector, with 129,000 new jobs, followed by education and healthcare. Pretty big number they were looking for, though, 1.17 million. And that's a leap above the lackluster 212,000 that they put up for July. So 212 for July, 428 for August. We went over in terms of big business. That's firms with more than 500 employees, 298,000 workers added. Medium-sized businesses, 79,000, while companies with fewer than 50 workers grew by only 52,000. Job creation skewed heavily to services, added 389,000. Compared with 40,000 for goods produced. So services, 400,000. Actual goods being produced, 40,000. So that news out, but guess what? Check out the market. I said, maybe the market's going to react a little bit. No, not so much. The market reacting in no way. We're holding on to those highs where we are, jumping over to the 15-minute. There's your pop. We were as high as 35.56 at about 6 a.m., but you see the volatility. No volatility this morning. S&P's hanging on to about 20 points of gains this morning as we await that opening bell. All right, what else we got going on in the market? We're going to jump over to a couple stories. Macys out with their numbers. Second quarter digital sales up 53% from a year ago. I always bring it up, folks. Be very, very wary when companies are using percentages that may be based on low percentages and low numbers a year ago. What did Macys do? Now, we can figure this out. I'm just saying, any news site, they love to use percentages because the companies love to use percentages. When you're talking about percentages of online growth from a year ago, what was Macys doing on digital sales a year ago? Did they do $1 million? Because if they did just $1 million, then that would mean that they just did 1.53 million. Not a stunning number, but 53% from a year ago. Sales online and at Macys stores open for at least 12 months were down 35.1%. Macys getting a little bit of a pop from these numbers this morning, but that's because the harsh reality that they've been living in. They lost only 81 cents a share. Market was looking for a loss of 1.77. Revenue, a slight beat of 3.56 versus 3.58. Net loss of 431 million. Compared to a profit of 86 million a year ago. And that's where you see these firms just hanging on to profits, right? 86 million, barely in the green. Things don't go as you expect, and boom, just like that, you lose almost $500 million in 90 days. Excluding one-time charges, that's where you get the 81 cents. Macys net sales dropped 35.8% to 3.56 billion from 5.55 billion a year ago. Jumping over to Macys this morning, M is their symbol, and there you see from 7 to about 740. You're up almost 5% this morning, but for some context, there's some context for you. From $18 prior to the COVID, we've just kind of been basing between about $7 and maybe the bottom of that range was $5. More recently, the bottom of that range at about $6 so far. When they came out with their earnings last month, you had it, that's July 1st going back. You were all the way basically the same price you're trading at right now on Macys. Mortgage demand. Housing market's been on fire. Low interest rates. Mortgage demand from home buyers 28% higher from last year. Pretty remarkable. I refinanced myself about October of last year. I think I got in at like 3.5, 3.75. Thought I was a genius locking in the lowest rate you'd seen in a while. Not so much. Applications to refinance a home decreased 3% for the week, although they were 40% higher from a year ago. Remarkable action continues. Total mortgage application volume fell 2% last week from the previous week, but volume was 35% higher than 1 year ago. The mortgage market just continues. DraftKings, the online betting world, getting a giant entering the market. Michael Jordan joins DraftKings as a board member. He's going to get some equity in there. And DraftKings, they are liking that news. Michael Jordan from $36.93 and kaboom, up to $41.60 this morning. You're up about $5 on that news. DraftKings looking to pop on Michael Jordan joining their team. And really, look at this. I want to back this out a bit here. Okay, so they just went public. That's why from $17 to $44, you want to see a chart, folks. How about Penn Gaming? Now, Penn owns Barstool. Check out that acceleration from $40 down to $4 when the whole sports world was out of whack, right? Sports weren't going to be a thing anymore. Nonetheless, we go from $4 up to almost $60 this morning on Penn National. Some of these gaming companies, folks, online gaming, online gambling, it's making its way into the mainstream, and now you got Michael Jordan joining DraftKings. All right, checking back in on the S&Ps. Market's just hanging tough. Some of the big gainers yesterday, gaining as well today. Amazon shares looking to open about $30 higher. We'll put it on a 15-minute. You're up to about 35, 33 on Amazon. Walmart extending their gains as well, up another few dollars to 150. You even got Salesforce. Everything's up. I kid, but there are big numbers across the board. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back in 3 minutes.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, JDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Market's just hanging tough. S&P's right now up 19. NASDAQ up 122. The Dow up 129. Russell up 5 points as well. Jumping over to gold this morning. Gold backing off a bit. Hanging tough. Made it above 2,000 at one point. 1969 right now in the price of gold. Silver contract negative 71 cents at 27.93. The high in silver yesterday, 29.23. Jumping over to notes and bonds. Pretty muted action this morning. 139.12. Negative 1 tick in the 10-year. We're negative 3 ticks in the 30-year. And as I mentioned, we're dealing with a bond, a yield right now of the 10-year note, 0.677%. In terms of Europe, we got the DAX up big today. DAX up 2.1%. We got the FTSE up 1.6%. The CAC roll up 2.3%. So that putting a big bid into our markets overnight. The reason why those futures could be up. Asia, Nikkei up about 0.5%. Shanghai down a bit. All right, jumping around to the other stories, quite a day for Walmart yesterday. As I mentioned, Walmart adding to those gains this morning. Walmart added $24 billion after the retailer announced the subscription service. They're going to be charging $98 a year for Walmart Plus. The company was up about 6% yesterday. New all-time high. Its market cap rising to $418 billion. And here's the remarkable thing, right? Amazon just dwarfing the market cap of a company like Walmart. If they start getting into their business, maybe you see the market caps of those two companies coming a little bit closer together. $98 a year. It's going to be unlimited free home delivery. Talking about groceries, you got to spend $35 an order. You also get a discount of up to 5 cents a gallon for fuel and access to Scan and Go app that will allow shoppers to skip the checkout line. I believe they already offer something like this at Sam's. And they're saying that they downplay the intent to compete with Amazon Prime. Don't believe it for a second, folks. They are coming right direct competition to Amazon Prime. Pretty similar price point. Amazon charges $119 a month, I believe. Amazon's grocery deliveries also include a $35 minimum order. Very, very similar categories. And to see what we are, I mean, the remarkable thing here is that Amazon not affected at all. You know, you might see Walmart accelerate. Doesn't mean you're going to see Amazon pull back. Walmart up again, about $3.50 this morning, trading at near $151. Amazon shares yesterday Yeah, unfazed, folks. We were positive yesterday, closed it out at 3,500. We're looking to open today at about 3,530. Jumping around to some of the competitors, I mean, even Target from 150.55. You're up almost $1 today with a bid ask above 151.21. Interesting to see how that shakes out. The other big flyer yesterday was Zoom, up 41% after an earnings beat. They added $37 billion to their market cap. Pretty interesting that you now have a company like Zoom worth more than IBM and AMD after its stock rally Tuesday. IBM, wouldn't you know it, all they would have had to done is transition. All they would have had to do, I should say, is transition to a video conferencing company, and they would have had a bigger market cap than they do today. Remarkable. But that's the world we live in, folks. Zoom, they got it done, and they got it done in a big way. You're pairing some of those gains today. We're at 446, as in closed yesterday at 457. But we came into those earnings, folks, at about 320, 316, I think was the close, 325, somewhere in that area on Monday night when they come out with their earnings. All right, tonight we get CrowdStrike after the bell. One of the big accelerators as well, and you see the volatility that this company has had even since Zoom came out. So they closed out Monday trading at 125, and we're $30 higher on basically nothing but optimism that if Zoom crushed it out of the park, then maybe CrowdStrike's going to crush it out of the park as well. They're looking right now, a $21 move is priced into that equity when they come up with their earnings after the bell. Talk about some volatility, but as you'd expect, anytime you have a company like Zoom popping 40% on their earnings, you're going to be paying. And you're going to be paying a decent penny for the price of volatility and premium in these options ahead of their earnings after the bell. What else we have? We got CrowdStrike after the bell and Broadcom and DocuSign. So DocuSign, one of the other big ones that's been accelerating higher on the news. Look at that move priced in, about $48. Now, this gets a little dicey. That's tomorrow. DocuSign tomorrow after the bell. But check out the acceleration. Same deal. They were trading at $220. We're trading at $290. They just added $70, folks. Now, this is where you want to be careful, all right? You want to say, if you're an options player, this is the things I consider in the newsletter that I do, Rocket Equities and Options. You got to factor in that this stock just went up $70 basically on nothing but optimism that Zoom delivered in a dramatic fashion, and you went up $70 on a $220 stock, essentially. So this stock has now gone up since where we were trading on Monday, 32%. It's already went up 32%. Zoom went up 41%, and they produced the numbers to back that up. DocuSign has gone up 32% since Monday, just on the fact that they're probably going to have some great numbers when they come out Thursday after the bell. You go from 75 to 220, basically, prior to Zoom earnings. I mean, it's really hard for a company to accelerate higher when you just went up 32% in basically one trading day, right? We have two overnight sessions, but you had Monday night, Tuesday trading, Tuesday night, 32%. Keep that in mind, folks. I'm going to be checking out this stock as we await their earnings on Thursday. We'll see what kind of volatility is priced into those options as we approach that date. But, man, it's tough to see a stock like that accelerating higher. But guess what? Doesn't mean it can't happen, folks. You know, you look at Zoom. I mean, there was similar thoughts coming out on Zoom. I mean, Zoom, you started the year at 65. You came into their earnings at 325. You could have said, well, geez, maybe a lot of the growth's priced in, but it wasn't. They've just been crushing it out of the park. DocuSign, in a big way. I mean, there's no reason that we need to sign documents in real life anymore. There's no reason. You can sign everything you do online. They're perfectly positioned. Everything makes perfect sense. But just keep it in mind, folks. I mean, the numbers are remarkable. I'll say it again. The stock is up 32% since where we were at the close of action around Monday. So we'll keep that in mind. And Broadcom. We got Broadcom numbers coming out on Thursday after the bell as well. Broadcom up to about 365. And to put this in some context, talk about a rocket ship as well. From 155 up to about 360. Pre-COVID, you were trading at about 320 on their numbers. All right, some of the other companies I like to keep my eye on. Disney shares. We're going to be up a bit, basically. You see the trend line in Disney holding well. This stock down to about $80. Disney Plus couldn't be going better. The Disney parks couldn't be going worse almost. I shouldn't say that, though. The Disney parks seem to be going well with what they're doing in Florida. I personally have no plan on attending the Disney parks just yet. But if you want to be out there, it's outside. Disney, one of the biggest companies in the world in terms of how they're going to be able to handle the type of cleaning processes. Seems to be there's been no outbreaks tied to that. You have the governor saying he would fully support Disney opening back up more of their capacity. That's where you saw some of this acceleration. Disney going to open a little higher this morning, along with the rest of the market. Some of the ride-sharing companies, Uber. See some of the graphics and the drawings that I got going on for the newsletter and what I'm talking about. Uber shares basically flat, but you see it up near the upper end of its trading range recently. And we'll check it out. Even Lyft, the other ride-sharing company. A little bit of a different company with Lyft. Lyft, no food delivery right now, so not quite benefiting like Uber is with their Uber Eats delivery. All right, folks, stay tuned. We got markets in positive territory. We'll be right back in 3 minutes, see what else we have on tap for Wednesday trading. Stay tuned.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archived workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. I got a chart of Target up here. Target closed yesterday at 150.55. We're trading up a bit with the market this morning. Want to jump over to a quick article on Target. So Target trying to keep up with the likes of Walmart and Amazon. Target's adding hundreds of new items to Good and Gather. That's one of their grocery brands exclusive to its stores this month. Retailer also launching Good and Gather's Signature, a line of premium foods like small batch Italian sauces, gourmet pizzas. Target trying to expand their approach to grocery with a similar strategy as its home decor and apparel. Launch a brand, develop unique products, and try to win a fan following. Some of these brands, I mean, you know, the margins that you can make when you're selling your own products, of course. I mean, if you're ever in a grocery store, folks, some of the biggest margins grocery stores make are some of those pre-prepared foods. I'm jumping around a bit, but those pre-sliced fruit, maybe something like that. I'll give you a quick tip. You want to save some fruit. Cantaloupe. You're going to buy some cantaloupe in the grocery store. Don't buy it chopped up, folks. They charge you like double what it is if you just buy a cantaloupe yourself, chop it up yourself. There you go. 100% savings on the mark. S&P's positive by 20 points this morning, trading right now up 0.6%. You get the NASDAQ up 125. Jumping around to some of the FANG stocks this morning. Microsoft shares, it's going to be positive territory across the board, folks. Microsoft up about $1 at 228. We'll jump over to Netflix shares this morning. About 557 for Netflix, up a bit. Amazon shares, as I mentioned, trading positive at 35.32 this morning. Google shares up to 16.75. Facebook shares up to almost $300. And we got to check in on our man Elon Musk and Tesla. Trading lower yesterday on the news that they are going to be issuing shares, raising about $5 billion of capital from a share offering. Tesla holding up pretty well in light of that news. Tom and I talked about it on the program yesterday. I mean, folks, be very, very wary of Tesla when you just traded from $270 to $500 on nothing but news of a stock split. And then at the peak, you have the CEO coming out and saying things are going so well, we're going to sell shares of our company into the public just for the cash prices. Nonetheless, Tesla holding steady at about $477 this morning. Stay tuned, folks. We got our man Larry Pesavento. He's coming up live next with Trade What You See. Fast Market at 11. Basil Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave White, Tom O'Brien, my dad, all this afternoon. We'll be right back, folks. Stay tuned.